Let's talk about tanks. Now, after the recent patch for Overwatch bringing us the fabulous Transformers collaboration event, we also got a heap of buffs for the tank role. Everyone pretty much got a buff. You have the likes of Reinhardt getting more health to his shield and regening quicker. Ramatra getting extra armor in Nemesis form while also dealing more damage. Winston firing faster. And Maga getting a crazy buff, to say the least. Now, what does this mean? Well, if you go onto Twitter and you look at any other Overwatch content creator, go follow me on Twitter by the way, you'll see that there are a lot of clips of powered up bastions shooting into Mauga while he shoots back with his self-heal. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, he's able to keep his health nearly full. Now, what do I think of this? Well, I've played a few games of comp already after this patch, I should say. To be honest with you, I haven't really found tanks to be too much of a menace. I think the situation differs a lot between a Mauga and a Bastion standing there shooting each other in a custom game. I think that doesn't really do it justice for how it would be in an actual game, because like not only you're gonna have that, you're gonna have your whole enemy team, your other supports are gonna be there to help you out. You've got your tank there to help you out as well. So it's like it's literally take this tank and take this tank and let them fight. Let them fight. And I don't know. I haven't noticed anything too bad. Then again, other people may be experiencing a bad time with tanks right now. That begs the question: if super buffing the tanks is not the way to go, what is the way to go? Is the way to go 6v6? Do we bring 6v6 back and we make tanks balanced again so we have two tanks, off tanks and main tanks? Do we separate them like that as to counter a double barrier method? So you're not playing the likes of Sigma Reinhardt, or set them up in ways that you're not playing the likes of Orisa and Mauga? Do we separate the tanks from each other? Do we put the big chunky ones over here to one side and a sort of supporting tanks to this side? Sort of like your Diva, your Wrecking Ball, your Winston. Or instead of making tanks more of bullet sponges and punching bags, do we just give them more damage? Give them better ways to move, make them a bit faster. What is the way to go with tank? That's the question I'm asking. What would be the optimal thing to do with tank? Because tank by no means is a fun role to play. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
It's not great. There's a lot of stuff there that really make it unfun to play as a tank. Speaking from experience, you're sat there, you're playing Reinhardt, and you're having a good time. You're swinging your hammer around, you're blocking a bunch of damage with your shield, and you go and fight in an engagement, and you have been slept, you have been hindered, you have been stunned, you have been antied, you have been hacked. It's not great. It's not great. So then you'll have the likes of the Ana nerf coming in here, where tanks now have an even more decreased duration while they're slept. Do you reduce the effects of hack on a tank? Do you reduce the effects of hindered on a tank? Stunned on a tank? How do you make tanks tanky without super buffing them? Personally, I don't know. I'm more so making this video to just get opinions on what people think of the current tank state. Is everyone unhappy with it? Are people like me where they haven't really noticed much of a massive difference? Yeah, the tanks do feel more tanky, but they're not powerhouses that can overpower entire teams and just stay alive all the time. Or are people happy with the tank changes? I want to know. I want to know what the people are thinking. Don't you? You know, let's get Nemesis Prime in here as well. Just because we're in Transformers. I've nowhere to put him that he's in frame. But yeah, what is the plan with tank? How do we fix tank? How do we make tank fun? Is the answer 6v6? Now, I don't know if I'm a 6v6er. Oh, okay. I don't know if I would prefer 6v6 to come back or not. I think if we were to look at 6v6, then I think we need to severely look at tanks then again, because you don't want to fall into the likes of a double barrier method again. People look back on Overwatch 1 with such nostalgia. I think that's what I would put it as. And they think everything was great. And it was a really fun game, but it wasn't perfect. Overwatch 1 was not perfect. You had the likes of the double barrier method, where you would set up on a high ground and you would put a Sigma shield, and then you'd stand there with Reinhardt. Once Sigma shield goes down, you stand there with Reinhardt, and once Reinhardt comes down, Sigma's back, you put Sigma's barrier back up. You have a Bastion just sat there and he shoots down. You have a soldier and he shoots down, or a Junkrat or something like that, and they just shoot down. You sit there with your Ana and your Baptiste, and they just pump heals into your team, or your Baptiste and your Mercy, and she just power boosts your Bastion. Baptiste gets his ult, he pops the window in the front, you shoot down on the enemy team and you just kill everyone. That wasn't fun to play against. especially on Horizon Lunar Colony, it was not a fun time. Yeah, the game would have, you know, been better 6v6 and loot boxes and stuff like that. But when you were playing a comp game and you came against that specific meta, that double barrier with the, like, with that just insane amount of damage coming down at you, it wasn't fun. It was really hard to counter. You'd go and try to switch Winston to maybe dive the enemy team up top and push them all off, and then Winston would jump, and then Bastion and the other DPS would just look at him and be look at that guy. Just erase him. Oh no, I could be making no sense here at all. I'm kind of just spewing whatever comes to my brain. Like, do you give tanks just, you know, the more damage, or do you make them faster? Do you give them more movement ability? Because the way I see it personally right now is that tanks are just able to tank. The tank can now tank. He can sit there and tank damage. And I seen someone going over Ramatra this pack, being like, Ramatra has almost 1,000 health, basically has 1,000 health when he does his Nemesis form, and saying Ramatra is really strong, and this guy's always been really strong. This guy has been the GOAT since he released. Probably the most slept on tank I have ever seen. He is just phenomenal in any play. Fight against a Sigma, a Winston, a D.Va, a Reinhardt, a Zarya, my guy right here. But yeah, again, I might just be yapping here and making no sense whatsoever. And if I am, well, shit, I'm sorry. It's okay, everyone. We can fix him. Look at him. Look how sick he is. Look at him. He's not going to focus, but he's pretty cool. Sure. Let me know what you think. If you've made it this part of the video, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button. We are pushing for 500 subscribers. Any help is greatly appreciated. Hit the like button, helps the videos get out there. If you want to support me and the channel and keep this channel growing and continuing on in the future, check out my Ko-fi, or the best way to support me is over my VGen, where you can get yourself an art commission. Best way, you're supporting me and also getting something back in return. Check out my TikTok, check out my Twitter. Yeah. I'll see you in the next one.